there is definitely something going on within the locker room, the front office. Something is off, man. This is the third situation in one game we have had involving Caitlin Clark and the coaching staff and pretty much another player. And it looked like Caitlin Clark definitely had a situation take place where she had a heated exchange with two assistant coaches on the staff.
There is definitely something going on within the locker room, the front office. Something is off, man. This is the third situation in one game we have had involving Caitlin Clark and the coaching staff and pretty much another player. And it looked like Caitlin Clark definitely had a situation take place where she had a heated exchange with two assistant coaches on the staff. The locker room door swung shut so violently it nearly rattled off its hinges. Inside, voices were clashing. Tension was sizzling like an exposed wire. And in that charged space, the Indiana Fever's entire season was about to pivot in ways nobody saw coming. Caitlin Clark had finally reached her breaking point. And Stephanie White was about to feel the heat from months of questionable decisions, all condensed into one electric showdown. Look, Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White clearly like and respect one another, right? But that doesn't mean they always see eye to eye. And I am beginning to suspect more and more that there's a bit of a divide between the way that they see the game and the way that they think the Indiana Fever should play. What happened inside that locker room didn't just stay there. It rippled out, sending seismic tremors through the entire basketball world and leaving every fan to wonder if the WNBA's brightest star was on the edge of packing her bags and waving goodbye to Indiana for good. Caitlin Clark, you need to go up to that front office. Demand Stephanie White to be fired, removed. They want the front office to pick between Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White. Man, it was only a matter of time, bro, that Caitlin Clark was going to obviously have words with Stephanie White. Caitlin Clark needs to get the hell out of Indiana. I think this is one of those things where it might be a turning point. But make no mistake, this eruption wasn't sparked by one sloppy game or a random substitution blunder. This was the culmination of months, entire months of simmering frustration, of jaw-dropping misuse of transcendent talent, of a generational superstar left feeling like her own coach might be orchestrating her demise rather than her ascent. Guys, in this footage right here, this is Caitlin Clark pretty much ignoring the Indiana Fever assistant coaches. She don't want to hear nothing y'all got to say. She ain't here for none of the drama, none of the BS. It's over with, guys. Check this out. Music, right here. Austin Kelly like, okay, whatever. Like, bro, like y'all really think like, bro, I don't know what this conversation was about, but clearly here there's a situation at hand. Kane Clark is pissed. She don't want to hear nothing y'all got to say. Clark's glare alone could have scorched the paint off the walls. Here's the player who single-handedly vaulted this franchise from league afterthought to headline attraction, only to be ghosted by a scheme so allergic to harnessing her gifts, it bordered on basketball malpractice. Picture this. The Fever ran commercials plastering Clark's face everywhere, selling tickets with her highlight reels. And then, when the moment was brightest, they decided to hide her on the bench like an unopened toy. It was absurdist theater at its finest, with Indiana playing the clown troupe. Did we see any of this at Iowa? No, we didn't. We didn't see Kayla Clark erupting on assistant coaches, having heated exchanges with Lisa Bluer. We didn't see this. Hell, she didn't even have a heated exchange with Christy Sides last year. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it looking real spooky. And I'm telling y'all right now, this thing is heating up. Something is coming to a head because Caitlin Clark is now showing publicly she's pissed off. She's publicly showing it. She ain't in character no more. She's sick of it. Watch this. Fans aren't just grumbling in private group chats anymore. They're practically screaming into the void. Scroll through social media during these games and you'll spot comments that read like furious Yelp reviews. I paid top dollar for Clark brilliance, not whatever this clown act is. And if this is what the Fever is selling, refund my emotional investment. Once your franchise jewel feels shoved aside, it's no longer some mild tactical oops. It's a slap in the face to every person who bought in, who wore the jersey, who made the pilgrimage to see this basketball prodigy light up arenas. Word on the street is CeCe told Stephanie White to sit Kelsey Mitchell and Howard because they don't pass. Could be true. CeCe went to tie her shoe after passing to Howard on a play. LOL. And it is clear that there is a philosophical rift in the team. And this is where you come in. If you're watching all this unfold, seething right along with thousands of other fed-up fans, hit that like button so hard it trembles and drop a free Caitlin in the comments right now. Let's blast a signal straight through the Indiana front office thick walls so they can't keep pretending they don't hear us. Because at this point, it's beyond venting. It's about protecting the future of the game's biggest sensation. I'm all for the veteran players, but at the end of the day, did we all forget that this is Caitlin's team? Like, did y'all just throw that whole situation out the window? Number 1 draft pick, rookie of the year, breaking all the damn records like they're scratch-offs, bro. What is we doing here, dog? I mean, Stevie Wonder could see that they tripping, man, at this point in time. I mean, I want to see the Caitlin. We seen the Iowa. What happened to the Iowa CC? The greatness. I mean, bro, we haven't seen the logo 3 in a month, bro. Now, to truly grasp how we reached this meltdown moment, we have to rewind the tape a few months. It all started with a comment so outrageous, it practically deserved its own laugh track. Stephanie White, talking hoops last season, dropped a sound bite that went viral for all the wrong reasons. The Mavericks just played differently without Luka on the floor. She said like she was unveiling some deep basketball wisdom. The ball's moving. It's popping. Multiple guys stepping up. Think about that. This was essentially saying the team is better off without the league's top scorer and the guy who dragged them to an NBA Finals. Stephanie White right here talking about Luka. A wrist sprain in that game that has been outset. And that puts a lot on the plate of players like Spencer Dinwiddie. He can just stay in who finds Marshall for the corner 3. You see the M just play differently without Luke on the floor. He's a guy who used to break the balls in his hands. When he's not on the floor, that ball is moving. It's popping. Multiple players getting involved in action and everyone stepping up. Okay, you can hear the excitement in her voice talking about Luka not being in there. Oh, they're moving and they're popping and blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh no. You hear that and you wonder, is she one of these coaches that doesn't believe in the transcendent player? That's like a bakery bragging it sells more donuts after firing its star baker. It was laugh out loud bizarre. Fans roasted it across socials. Analysts shook their heads. But White didn't flinch. Instead, she doubled down, proudly hoisting this philosophy as if it were a championship trophy. No single player should ever be bigger than the system. Fast forward, and suddenly that weird philosophy makes a twisted kind of sense in Indiana. Swap out Luka for Caitlin Clark, swap out Dallas for the Fever, and voila, same recipe, same misguided approach. The superstar, the franchise cornerstone, the literal ticket-selling phenomenon in White's eyes, apparently a liability. Stephanie White, you deserve the Dato Bird of the Day award. And if they do not want to get make a coaching change and bring in who she wants that is going to cater to her style and build the team around her strengths, then she should walk. And who do you think that the fans come to see? They don't come see everybody else that's on that team. I'm sorry. That's no disrespect. The Caitlin Clark effect, the CC effect is real. And this wasn't some stray comment or harmless slip. This was her gospel. Once you understand that, every confusing lineup shuffle, every mind-numbing bench stretch, every stagnant offensive slog starts to connect like puzzle pieces. White's core belief is crystal. If a player dominates touches too much, they are the problem. Her utopia is a merry-go-round offense. The ball zipping around, everyone getting a taste. Zero dependency on a singular star. Sounds poetic in theory. In practice, it's like watching a grocery cart with one busted wheel careen aimlessly. Players bumping each other. Nobody quite sure who's steering. bro, I don't even understand the spacing of the offense. I'm watching Caitlin Clark drive down the right side of the lane. And Natasha Howard, rather than spacing the floor and stay in the corner, she's diving to the basket, bringing a defender to Caitlin. It's just, bro, the offense is just trash. I got to be honest with you. But what I will say with Stephanie White is just that I hate this offense. I do not like the Indiana Fever's offense this season. It's hard to watch. And I feel like Stephanie White is bringing what she was doing with the Connecticut Sun over here. That's exactly why men need to be coaching in the WNBA, bro need to be coaching. Yeah, let a man do it, bro. 'Cause all this women coaching other women athletes, bro, it's out of there. And then these women owners and all of that, man, please, bro y'all just tearing stuff down, bro. It's not about y'all. But it's crazy, though. Here's the issue, though. Caitlin Clark isn't just some ordinary ball handler. She's a once-in-a-generation floor general built to orchestrate, to fire up engines, to elevate everyone around her. Take away her keys,